Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Ashish here, and we are having a Friday live show. As usual, 12 to 1, it's a StreamYard live to all the various platforms with our expert guest every week. So, we are just going to have a beautiful organic discussion about health and natural health, as well as women's health. Today, we are talking about fertility, holistic fertility, and we have got wonderful Shanila with us, and actually I'm just meeting her now as well, so we are going to have a chat. I'm going to find out what she does, how she does it, and you can also listen in, ask a question, or comment if you have anything good and impactful to say. So please enjoy, everyone. Thank you, Shanila. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to always talk anything holistic, and especially fertility, because fertility is a topic that's very close to my heart.
Oh, wow. Tell me how. So I also see this next to your name, Shanila, holistic pin cups. Yeah.
Yes. So holistic pinkups is my name, is my Instagram name, and my social media name. And so if anybody is interested, obviously after listening to what I've got to say, that's where they can find me. So it's basically just searching holistic pinkups.
Mhm.
So I would say that I'm the therapist I couldn't find for myself. So let me explain that a little bit.
Yeah.
So what happened is that I had two children, and both children. Well, I had my first child after about 6-7 years after marriage,
Mhm.
and both of them were born prematurely. And because they were born prematurely, I really still yearned for holding a newborn in my hands, and, just to have that newborn experience, as opposed to them being whisked away in an incubator and then not seeing them after a couple of weeks after they were more stable to be able to breathe and to be able to like fend for themselves and have that contact with skin to skin. And so I decided that, okay, now it's time to start for child number 3, or for hopefully non-premature child.
You
And
were
pardon?
first kids were twins.
No, they weren't twins. They were my daughter, and then 2 years later, my son was born.
Okay.
And so then what happened is I suffered a miscarriage. That first miscarriage turned to 2, turned to 3, to 4,
My
and
God.
it didn't end there. 5. So I suffered from 5 devastating miscarriages, and each miscarriage took a piece of my heart, a piece of courage, and a piece of like my self-esteem. So I felt myself being really in a cycle of despair.
Yeah.
And my when it came to my 5th miscarriage, it was in Pakistan. So and I got some of the best care in Pakistan because it's private care.
Yeah.
And as I was there, I was told that I was this close in losing my uterus.
Mm.
And the doctor had just given me another like 5 minutes, or she would have removed my uterus. And then I was strongly advised medically not to try for another child.
Yeah.
And as I was processing this information, I was lying down, and my son came to me and he was like, "Mummy, get off your phone." And I said, "Well, why?" And he said, "Because it's not good for the baby." Oh, and I had to look at him directly in the eyes and say, "There is no more baby." And he just looked at me and he went, "Why does it always happen to us?" And I was just like, well, actually, I don't know why it always happens to us. I couldn't answer that question. So
Yeah.
that led me to look at my fertility and think, if the doctors are not giving me the answers that I'm craving for, let me see if there's any alternatives out there. I was already a hijama therapist.
Right.
So I started looking in, and I was an acupuncturist as well, but I started looking more directly into what's happening fertility wise. How can I optimize my uterus? And as I started looking at everything, what I realized is that I can actually become the therapist that I couldn't find for myself, because I'm a mother here yearning for a child that I can't have. but yet I can help hundreds and thousands of women that have got the possibility of motherhood but might not know how to do things. So that's the reason why I have become holistic pin cups, because I primarily use a pin for acupuncture and cups for cupping as well.
That's. I mean, the name then flows nicely into what how you have explained your journey, and it is heartbreaking journey. You know, baby loss, even one is enough to shake you up and give you trauma for life, let alone so many of them. So it is, thank you for sharing that. And I know this because I have been working in this field forever, over 30 years. And especially, well, before I was in gynae and maternity, that's where I started from. But here I've come round circle, working back again into fertility and supporting women. And it is it is a journey of a lot of women who then cannot find the support, and we still do not have, we hardly have any support, even though you and I are, people like us are out there, and we think we are supporting so many women, hundreds of women. Still, I don't think it is hardly enough support. People don't know about natural therapies or holistic therapies, that they can do something, you know.
Yeah, no, it's because we're just scratching the surface. I've just come off a call from a lady, and the lady's like, I've been following you for a long time, but I wanted to get the answers, and I've now gone to a fertility clinic and they've said that I could get naturally pregnant, but I've got this condition. And I'm like, yeah, that's what they're all going to say, and that's very normal. But what it is it's not normalized, because we our psyche was so used to being dictated and saying that if we've got a doctor title, or the doctors know best, and again with the pharmaceutical industry, they they can't put support, women's support or natural support in a pill, or they can't put it in a pack to earn money. So
Yeah,
we so and also the psychological support, like again, one miscarriage, one loss, or even one yearning leaves you with so many scars,
yeah.
and a doctor simply doesn't have the time and the resources to support you how you need to be supported.
No. Actually, yes, I was also on a call before, spoke to a patient at 10:30, and so many things that are just going in my head, coming even from that call. And I know that one of the things, for example, I can ask you what's your opinion, and I see this so very often. um, when men have the issue, when there is issue with the sperm quality, right? It's such a cultural issue that men are not even going and getting themselves checked. And woman who is, has been through how many cycles, four transfers, four embryo transfers, 6 7 overall cycles of IVF, and sometimes you collect eggs and you don't have anything much, so you do another cycle and so on. And she has gone through everything, and still, while I'm talking to her, she's still talking about my health, my eggs, this. I said, are you listening to me, that I'm talking about your husband's sperm quality, his numbers? And she said, but nobody has ever mentioned this to me. And I said, I know, because nobody looks at this, that when you are doing ICSI, for example, right? So we do specialized form of IVF. Yes, we can select one sperm, but if the overall health of that person is not good, the quality of that single sperm is also not going to be very good. I don't think, however much we can select, and what is shocking to me, and you might know this already, what is shocking to me is the numbers of sperm. For example, motility has to be only certain number to be called normal. Yeah,
Mm.
morphology has to be only 4% normal. 4%, what is 4%? I want to see 20%, 30%. The more we can enhance, there are more chances, because science is saying, research is saying, that early miscarriages or early pregnancy loss happens more due to DNA fragmentation that happens in the sperms. But we are not even talking about this. This is such, it's just mind boggling.
It's just like, but you know what really breaks my heart is when there's women out there and they know 100% that it's a sperm issue, but they are carrying the stigma, they are carrying the guilt, they are carrying the shame, and they are carrying the mother-in-law's taunts. Yeah, you're laughing because you totally understand. But then the way I always say is what I do is I kind of stroke the egos of the males, and I say, listen, if the egg quality is this, if I can get the sperm quality 60%, then I can also help, like get things going. So I give them basic advice, but I do have a full sheet where it goes on to male fertility, and I have to say, alhamdulillah, that my males are very, very proactive. I've had lots of really, really nice males come through the door
Yeah.
and listen to what I've got to say and put it in action. And it's really heartwarming that it's there. But the thing is again, if I look at the male fertility sphere, there's lots of confusing information out there. The doctors don't help, because when they say that there's a low sperm count or slow mobility, that what do they say? Well, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
So then why is a woman going to think, oh, a man can do something else?
I
You know,
agree.
and there's so much problems out there. And exactly, you hit the nail on the head when you said that early miscarriages can be caused by sperm issues.
Yeah.
But the woman holds all the guilt and all the shame, and it's not fair.
And I think we are overall, even if, as you say, yes, I've had men who are very forwardcoming, do all the treatments, they're happy. But if a man is initially told, okay, we can choose one, as long as we can choose one sperm, then what is the man going to do, right? So and
Yeah,
as a couple, they're going to think, okay, doctors are saying that, and all doctors say that. And I have seen ICSIs being done unnecessarily, where we are not preparing. I'm not against ICSI. I have IVF children myself. I'm not against any modern technique, but if we use modern technique properly, then we have better chance of one conception faster, healthier, for that couple, so that we don't have to go through so many cycles of ICSI, because ICSI itself still is IVF. It still has very, very low rate of success, because we are not preparing men. Yeah, so it's just going on in my head because I was talking to her.
and I can go on with this as well, because the thing is that even if we choose IVF, I'm very pro IVF, because obviously you need a good plan B. But have you prepared your body for IVF? Surely there's something in your womb here that is not allowing you to naturally get pregnant. So you need to prepare the womb for a natural pregnancy. I tell my clients, you need to become pre-pregnant to get pregnant. So let's get your womb ready for that implantation and maintenance of a healthy embryo. And then the rest is there. I had one client, she was 34 and she had 7 rounds of IVF before having her child.
Yeah,
After the 7 rounds of IVF, she's now 40 and she wanted her second child. She had one failed IVF. She came to me. I said to her, listen, I am like a journey. So if you're going from Manchester to London, I am like Birmingham. I am the service station. You sit here for a little while. We
yeah,
just get rested. I'm not saying finish your journey. I'm just saying rest a bit, rejuvenate, and
yeah.
then get yourself ready. So she did rest, rejuvenate. She had her second round of IVF, and alhamdulillah, we're gonna go and see her baby on Saturday. You know,
Oh,
so and it's so beautiful, because now and when she was younger, so in inverted comma, she should have been more fertile. She had 7 rounds of IVF. At the age of 40, her second IVF worked. Why? Because she prepared her womb.
100%. I cannot agree anymore. And my whole work with fertility is about preparing. You prepare for natural conception as well as for, if It's,
Yes.
as you say, it's a journey. You keep preparing, keep trying naturally, and keep preparing. And then when you choose, I normally give my patients about a year when they work with me, unless they are 45 plus, in which case not a year, then it will be shorter time. But even if they are 40, like this woman just I spoke to is 40, and I said you still have about a year or so, because my work is about 3 months intensive. You do everything what needs to done and still keep trying naturally. And then if you feel okay, now we are ready, because then your body and mind and your hormones and everything will be ready to then go for IVF. You go for IVF, from now, in 6 months time. And it's about the preparation. It is, I mean, I had IVF. My twins are 16 years old, and in my case this was 10th year into the marriage, and IVF worked first time. Okay, which is hardly, not even 1% of women where IVF works first time, and you have a successful twin pregnancy. Yeah. IVF success rate we know is on third cycle, and that's under 35. Yeah, over 35 we don't even have that much success rate of IVF. And in my case, sorry, sorry.
It's okay. Someone's very angry. The joys of live streaming.
Yes, I know. Oh my God. Okay. So in my case, it was preparation for years, not even 3 months. And I am someone who's 100% healthy. You know, my
Yes.
husband is healthy. I am healthy. I still prepared with herbal medicines, and I'm a practitioner. I was still under another of my senior and my teacher's care, and I used that. I was doing yoga. I was doing everything every single day, and that is when that cycle worked first time. And when I look at women who are, just going through, oh, I used one acupuncture, I used one hijama session, and I'm like, one is not going to do anything.
I,
Nothing at all.
I have women like, I'm going for IVF next month. Can I have an acupuncture session? And I said, no. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm
Wow.
not putting because in their mind, if they've had one acupuncture session, they now go into the statistics that alternative therapies can make IVFs more successful. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, because you need to give me at least 3 months to prepare your body. We need at least 3 months. Like, if you think about it, marriage, yeah, you go into marriage, you don't say, all right, I'm going to get married and next month, like, I'm going to get married now. You have to prepare the marriage. You've got to buy the dress. You have to find the location.
Partner.
Yeah, find the partner as well, the most important as well. And so that's what it is it's like, why can't we prepare the body? And I've now I've made it a bit easier for my clients. So I go through my framework, which is called the 7 steps to a successful pregnancy.
Yeah.
Whereas in reality, there's about 10 things that they do, but still, I just say 7 because it's a nice number and it doesn't seem daunting. But it's like, getting the body prepared, because, like, if you think about it, even like look at nature, like where I'm gardening at the moment, and there's been a place where it's been full of stones for 16 years. And so now my husband, he's still pulling out stones and cleaning the whole area. And now we've decided that we're not going to plant anything on it until next year. But we're going to now spend 6 months preparing this soil just for seeds.
Yep.
And I'm not going to ask him for a place of barren land. And subhanallah, it's really interesting that, a soil that can't have anything grown on it is barren. And they call the woman a barren woman who doesn't produce a child. But barren land with preparation can become fertile, just like fertile women. Like, barren women can prepare their bodies and become fertile women as well.
100%. In Ayurveda, we say that you need 4 things, just like we need these 4 things for plants. Yeah. You need the soil, you need the air, you need the light, and you need the right nutrition for that plant. And even then, there is a time cycle, right? So if you plant a mango tree, the first fruit you're going to get is in 10 years time. It doesn't give you fruit before that, or 5 years time, whatever that is. I don't know exact number, but it's long time before you get any fruit, as compared to, I don't know, something else that you plant mint, and you start gathering mint leaves in literally in few weeks, so everything has a cycle. And when you're preparing body for something which is the biggest miracle on the planet, to develop a new human being, it is going to take so much of preparation and resources, not just only physical preparation, mental preparation, spiritual preparation. It's a spiritual process to have a soul who is coming through you. But that is, I think that is far gone lost, where nobody is even thinking about that. It's actually a spiritual experience.
But I feel now we are in a in a in a in an era of instant gratification. We want something from Amazon, we click on it, and we
Like
get
total
it.
baby from heaven.
That's almost what we are trained for. We can't watch long YouTube videos. We need YouTube shorts. We need reels. We need instant gratification. And there's no such thing. How dare you make us wait 6 months for a baby? And even though, if you think about it, even once a conception happens, you still have to wait 9 months for that baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was sharing with, and I say to my patients that conception still is probably the easiest part. You still have 40 weeks to sustain that pregnancy. And if your health is not at the right place, like so many women and men have systemic health issues. There is diabetes, there is cardiovascular issues, there is gut health issues, there are health issues. This patient was mentioning to me she has got some kidney issues. So you have other health issues, and with that you're trying to also create a new life. It is going to take so much effort. And I think that's what I think is it's not coming across very well,
No, it's
because
because people are not really, they're not understanding. It's become a culture of 1 + 1 = 2.
yeah,
And I'm like, no, it's you put 5 seeds in the ground and you water them and you nurture them. But it's not necessarily that you're going to have 5 plants.
no,
And
it,
again, it comes back down to what you were saying about your spirituality. You need to have that spirituality, because at the end of the day, a new life is a gift from our Lord.
yep.
And a lot of people are so impatient.
Yes, I think impatient because they've already left it too late. That
Yes.
is also the case, where years have passed by, like even with this patient and many other patients, they have been setting up. And we also know this from now, where we are socially, women are working, and yes, fantastic that they are working and they're standing up on their own feet, they're earning their own money. But what it is doing to fertility is really counterproductive. So it is not working with fertility, because when you are most fertile is when you are trying to do your work as well, and you're trying to actually stop it. That's the time when you're most fertile, which is under 30, actually, and around 25 when you are most fertile.
Mm.
And that is the time when most women are on contraceptive pill or other things, and they're trying to stop it, you know. And then when at 35, they do want to, they have got everything else settled, house is settled, relationship settled, everything's, and now they want to get pregnant and they can't, you know. And then they become impatient that, oh, but I was preparing. You were preparing in a different way. You were only probably financially preparing, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
and even with that, I find that even if financially you were preparing, and most people only have got that much saving, and IVF is such an expensive treatment, that even if you have saved so much money, then it's gonna be gone in 2 cycles of IVF.
Yeah, I know, and IVF has become so expensive, and I think at the beginning I really didn't understand my protocol was so powerful, and I think when COVID hit, because I always thought my physical treatments were more powerful. And again, it's my own learning journey and my own ignorance as well. And when COVID hit, I had a beautiful client, and she was like, her father-in-law got COVID, so she wasn't able to come to travel me. And she said, "Sister, can you just do the consultation with me, and then we'll do the physical treatment?" And I said, "Okay, then." So I did the consultation with her, and I took her through the 7 steps to a successful pregnancy. And lo and behold, after 3 cycles, she actually got pregnant. And I was like, whoa. And then I was like, "Would you pay for this consultation?" And she said, "Yes." So I was like, okay. So I offered my consultation at a very minimum price, not knowing. And I was so surprised that I actually got natural pregnancies from it, which I wasn't expecting. So I was like, oh, okay, whoops. But, and then I didn't realize that there's so much power with preparation,
Yeah.
because simply preparing your body can give you the results as well, not just a physical treatment. So then obviously I've changed my protocol, but then that's really beautiful because it enabled me now to get people, because my clinic is based in Manchester. So I
Yeah.
have people from London, from Edinburgh, from Leicester, from Birmingham, from all over the place, because then they, the times that they have to come and see me is virtually every 3 months. So it
Yeah.
becomes a lot easier to travel with me. But this is what it is that it's the information, and also sometimes it's also the belief, because you've the belief is like, because I always say you need 3 B's for a baby. You need your belief, you need your brain, and you need your body. And the belief is really, really important, because I had one client come to me once and she said to me, "I'm never going to be a mother."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, "Well, I'll tell you for free, that is completely true." And she went, "What do you mean?" She was so angry with me. And I said, "Because if you're coming to the belief that you're never going to be a mother, then I
Yeah.
can understand where the belief is coming from. It's protecting your heart, because it's something that you really, really want, but you're scared that you're not going to get it. So let me protect my heart so that I don't feel bad when I don't get it."
Yeah.
But then that creates barriers, because in Chinese medicine, you, your womb is your second heart. And if you're putting that belief in your womb, then your womb is not going to give you that baby. And again, spiritually, this is the supplication. This is the supplication that we're giving to our Lord. And the Lord, and the Lord hears, because he's all hearing. And you will then say, you're then saying that, "No, I don't want to be a mother," but yet you do want to be a mother. Have you come across these negative beliefs?
All the time, all the time. And I think what you mentioned also is, the interaction between you and the patient is the most beautiful form of therapy in itself, even when you don't do the work. Like today, because I do these calls, just 15-minute, strategy calls with women, just to find out where they are, and they also to find out, if there is a possibility. And I feel there is so much value even in just in that connection, because she had never heard about that. If you are doing ICSI, that husband should be prepared. She's never heard about that, so she heard something completely new, which opens you to new horizons. And this belief is something which is just, I can talk about it whole day. Who you are as a person, what you know to be true within you. And what I have seen in my practice, even as a practitioner and as a person as well in my life also, people who are hell bent to do something will do it.
So
Yeah.
true. So true. They will make a way. I had a girl, she had low AMH levels 0.05. Okay, so scientifically impossible to get pregnant. That girl was a superpower. She was a trailblazer. She was like, "I'm going to do this and then I'll see what happens." She she was so diligent in following my protocol. She even did loads of extra things as well. She's now a mother of not one boy but 2 boys, and they're not even twins. So she got pregnant one time, and then 6 months later she ended up getting pregnant again, because the body knew what it was doing. And
Yeah.
she's now got 2 boys, and it's like, and she proved to me that
Yeah.
when you have determination and when you have preparation, that's when success will happen.
100%. And I've seen this over and over and over with patients. A recent patient who got naturally getting pregnant at 44. Last time she lost the baby. And one of my oldest patient, she was just 2 months short of 47 when she gave birth to her daughter. And she started a long journey, over the years. But she was somebody who met her husband at 40, wanted to have a child, and she said, I'm going to have this child regardless. Is that attitude? And
Yeah.
she did every protocol with me, and I've been with them through the journey. And yes, a lot of things happened. They did IVF, they had the donor eggs they had to use eventually because we couldn't get her eggs to be used. But she wanted to have the experience of being pregnant and having her husband's baby. That was the most important thing for her,
Mm.
and she did. They have a beautiful 2 or 3 years old girl now, and she's really happy. And that is what I have seen, where she never mentioned to me that, because at 40 most of the women are thinking, am I going to get pregnant? And she was 42 when she started, and she said, I'm going to have this child regardless.
And this is what happens is the belief is so important. It's paramount.
Yeah.
Positive affirmations, positive belief, and really just having that that strong belief that no, I'm going to make this happen, or I am going to give up, but I'm when I give up or when it doesn't happen, I'm going to live with no regrets.
Yeah.
I'm going to live with no regrets that I've done everything in my power to
Yeah.
be able to get the thing I want.
100%. I totally agree. I speak to so many women because I do a lot of social media online. So I'm doing lives and stuff. And even otherwise, so many women message through. And then there are so many women who are waiting on the NHS, waiting for appointments and waiting to see a gynecologist. And I'm like, even if you save a pound a day, even if you save a pound a day, and even people who are on benefits can save pound a day, okay?
Yes.
Go and see someone privately. Even
Mm.
if you can see somebody for 50 pounds, you can see somebody for 150, whatever you can save in that specific time, rather than waiting for months and months. So I always say, and I have had patients, I had a couple, and the gentleman, he's an artist, and he's on benefits, okay, he's on universal credit. And I thought, I mean, I don't think that anymore, but I said to them, this is going to be the cost, or this is the price for. And he said, yes, that's fine. We'll do it. They did. They both had medicines with me. They both did consultation with me, which is, at least couple of thousands, 3,000 pounds. And I was like, okay, if they can find money, you know,
Well,
anybody.
if it's important for you, you will make a way.
Yeah,
Show me the destination and I will make the bridge myself. If something is really important, if you are hell bent in there, I have some women, they're like, oh, you're really far away and my husband doesn't agree to take me. And I'm like, yeah, but you have birthday presents, you have this, you have Valentine's presents, you have Eid presents, you have, Christmas presents, whatever you want. And if it is really important for you, you just say, right, okay, it's the next 3 presents for me, this is how important this is for me. And then the husband will sit there and go, okay, maybe it is important for her, I will make that time. But if you are just sat there going, okay, it's not happening, this is not, and if you can only see the barriers,
yeah.
then you're not going to move ahead. Them barriers or them hurdles are there to be smashed or to jump over or even jump aside. You will find a way to to get rid of them barriers.
100%. Because I do feel, that these natural therapies that you and I do, they are not on the NHS. So obviously
No, yeah.
not really accessible to people, But I think it's a mindset issue. Also, the fact that most people don't know about natural therapies, that natural therapies or holistic therapies can be used for fertility. One is to educate that in the first place, that yes, there is naturally enhancing your health will improve your fertility.
Mm,
And secondly, I think it's a mindset issue without realizing that, that jewelry that I was looking on TikTok to buy for 25 pounds, and let's not buy that set this month, and let's put that money aside to go and see someone. And because I always say to, women who are connected with me, I do so much stuff which is for free. Okay, there are so many videos, and I said my videos are even 3 to 5 minutes long. Even if you dedicate one day to educate yourself, you will have so much knowledge and information that you can start today, start changing certain things which are free to start with, and then doing, putting some money aside, because I think this issue is also about mindset issue, as you mentioned. If you only see the obstacles, you only see the obstacles, and you're going to hit the obstacles for sure. If you only see the path, then you only see the path. Okay, I only see a straight road. I don't see any trees around. I don't see anything else around. So I'm just going to go straight, whatever it takes. And I think that is so crucial. And that is one of the reasons why we are talking, why I do this. So that we
No,
can.
it's because you, whatever you're saying, I'm echoing it. We have the same beliefs. I think we're sisters from another mother, because it's like like it's so beautiful to have, because even as therapists, I sometimes, we have to be grounded. We
Yeah,
also have to have this and these kind of conversations. It makes us believe that, okay, we're not the only one. There are other people out there that are helping. And I also, because my background is Pakistani, and I have also realized, and even looking at some of my USA clients, is because of the NHS, the British community is not used to paying for healthcare.
yeah,
That's also, like, because the other cultures that are not reliant on NHS, and don't get me wrong, NHS, it's a beautiful system and it's a very empowering system, but
yeah,
sometimes because everything is free, we are not used to saving up and paying for our health,
yeah.
because our health in our minds are something that the government should provide for. So it's like, well, why should I pay for why should I pay for you when I'm getting IVF on the NHS? But when the NHS fails, then they have to pay for IVF. Then it's like, well, why should I pay for you? Because now I'm paying for IVF
I
and
know.
it's the extra cost.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is that whole thing about, and my thing is, okay, if NHS, if you are getting cycle for free or for partly funded on NHS, then pay the rest of it to a natural practitioner and prepare yourself,
100%. You've taken the words out of my mouth.
then you have no excuse not to prepare yourself, but it is all of these issues, and you're right about NHS and mindset about paying, because I have patients in America as well, where, because they're paying anyway, they're
Yes.
paying to other doctors, and they're happy to pay for natural medicine as well. And this is, again, I think this is why it needs more education, needs to go out, more words need to be seen out in public, like us talking now, so that people can know there is an option, there is something more we can do. And yes, we might need to save somewhere else. And I don't believe that nobody can save 500 pounds. I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's trying to have, and most of the Asian, Indian, Pakistani community, they're pretty okay. Yeah, they're not. They're doing fine. They're definitely buying the Porsche and the Ferrari and the Prada shoes and the Louis Vuitton handbags, so they can definitely invest. But again, it's a mindset. They can invest in something which is of no value, as compared to something which is a child. There's no money you can put on having a baby. It is just something invaluable. And your health overall, right? Because it is
Because,
not
yeah,
just
it's
even about.
because like my clients, they learn to look after their womb. So even if
Yeah,
they are looking after their womb and then they do get pregnant and whatever, they have learned to look after their womb. That will then in turn mean better menopause.
yeah,
Majority of my clients, they don't even go through awful premenopause symptoms, because of the fact is that they've learned to nurture their womb, they've learned to look after it. And again, I've had some clients, they've gone through the whole process, they've had their first baby, now they want baby number two. I turn them and I go, you've still got the protocol? Yes. Do the protocol for 3 months. If you're not pregnant by then come and see me. And I
Yeah.
would say 50% of them will actually get pregnant without actually seeing me the second time, because they already know the protocol. The womb knows it. They just need the motivation to go back to what was successful anyway. So it's a, it's a win-win situation. And even me, I don't know, in in COVID, because I was demonstrating the techniques to clear out the womb. Oh my Lord. The clear out I got in COVID, I had a period where I was physically sick. I had so many symptoms that I didn't understand. And I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, this has never happened. And then I realized, because I have been explaining to them, and if I told them to go a little bit harder, I would go harder.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I was like, okay. So then I was like, right, and it's actually made my womb a lot more healthier.
Yeah.
I My cycles were a 36, 37 day cycle. My cycles are now a 28, 29 day cycle. And it's now learning and I've now noticed, because I'm now at the age of like 45, 46, but my periods are completely normal. The
Yeah.
people around me, where they're going through premenopause symptoms and lots of like this the cycle of menopause,
Yeah.
whereas I'm getting no symptoms whatsoever. I am very fertile, very well. And I'm like, no, nothing. I'm not really understanding. I'm all right with the window open or the heating on. I'm completely fine. I don't need the fan yet.
I agree. I am 51 and I am also, I have my period still, and it's good to have longer the period, the better it is for you.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
health is, I'm 100% healthy, no health issues. I'm not on any medication, and completely, periods are completely healthy still, and that is the bigger point that you made, and which I say and I educate people, that information that I am sharing with you, it's lifelong information. Okay,
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
not just for now. Of course it is primed for now, it is going to help you for now, but once you learn your body mind constitution, once you learn how to live your life in an ideal proper way, that is information not just for you but for your generations to come. You can do same thing with your children, how to give them the best quality food. If you have learned how to do it for yourself, you can do it. So it's not just only your health, we are improving your children's health, their children's health, because remember, we are creating generational health here, you know and you made the point about menopausal health is so crucial, because we know with IVF sometimes early menopause gets induced, and
Yes.
right, and women also, if you are having IVF at 40, you might be going into menopause straight after. Okay, and if you haven't really worked on your health and well-being from a holistic point of view, that menopause is going to be a little nasty. It's not going to help you because there's so many
And
hormones being crazy.
that's what it is because a lot of people are like, well, women didn't used to complain, they used to grin and bear, but women didn't used to be in the workforce, women didn't used to do the things that they're doing, and women were not exposed to the amount of toxins and
Yeah.
even toxicity of mind and everything, because women seem to forget that a man runs on a 24-day cycle, whereas a woman runs on a 28-day cycle. A lot of people, when I ask even the simple question of how long is your cycle, 7 days, I'm like, no, I'm not talking about your bleed, I'm talking about your cycle.
I
And
know.
this is a woman who's even had some children, even had, they do not understand. And I'm like, no. Like, my first question is, how many days are on your cycle? My second question is, how many days do you bleed? My questionnaire. And that in itself, I'm not really interested in the numbers. It tells me whether that woman is understanding the difference between a cycle and menstruation.
It is crazy. I'm telling you, ovulation is, which is the key point. You would think that after someone who has been trying for 10 years, gone through a couple of cycles of IVF, should know when they ovulate. They
No,
don't.
no,
They still
no.
don't. And it's like,
And it's like, sister, I've not had my period. I'm like, I don't care about your period. Are you ovulating?
it is. I think that education is also missing,
Yes.
and like everything else, because I know this, and you know this as well, that everything around women's health it's covered in shame, because we
So
don't talk about periods, we don't talk about vagina, we don't talk about women's health, we don't talk, because everything excites men, and that's why we don't talk about our own important issues. I mean, what the heck? And that is why we are not fully informed. That is why there is so much shame and guilt about this whole thing, and so much. And you know what happens? We are taking so long to diagnose women with PCOS, endometriosis, taking people years to get diagnosis. And by then, the issue has already become chronic.
it is, and it's like the amount of women that are walking around, and it's normal for them to take a day off work because they've started their period. It's normal for them to have a drawer full of painkillers.
Painkillers, oh my God, yeah.
Like, let's pop the painkillers and let's carry on this testosterone cycle. And it's like, and it pains me, but it also brings joy, because I have some women that have had chronic endometriosis, and what are they doing? They're bringing that niece in at 16 years old, they're bringing that daughter in at 14 years old, and it soars my heart that at least there'll be one or two girls that are not going to go through this cycle of pain. I
Yeah.
had one client of mine, her pain was so chronic that her husband would have to help her go down the stairs 2 days a month,
Wow.
all every month. And so she came and had a physical treatment with me. And for the first time, he didn't need to hold her. And then she didn't need painkillers. And we got her pregnant after the fourth or fifth cycle. And it
Yeah.
was so beautiful. But like, I'm very happy that she got pregnant, but I'm even happier that she now lives without pain, which
Yeah.
is even more empowering.
Absolutely. And it is so much possible. It is so much possible if we can detect early, and if we start all this natural stuff early, when girls initially have period issues or ovulation issues or weight issues, which is related to PCOS and anything else that might be related, it should be investigated more. But because we don't have that culture of preventative medicine, we don't have culture of holistic health, across the board, it's not just only in the UK. I think it's overall in the world. We not look at preventative measures. We don't look at preserving and protecting our health. Let's start early. Let's have a scan when girls start having periods and the periods are not going very well, or they're having too much pain. Let's do the tests. Let's do the scans, and let's find out what is going on here. Rather than putting everybody on a pill, what can we
It's
do
because
next?
it's such a shame, because any period related qu- queries or problems, the doctor will say, do you want to get pregnant? No. Okay, here's the pill. Now,
Yeah.
if I want to get pregnant, okay, here's IVF. IVF and the pill are not a solution to all the period problems.
No,
You know,
it's
the
not.
uterus is crying out for help, but we're not helping it.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. And great that you're doing great work. It's wonderful to share these stories and experiences of women, because it's so important for this information to come out, because we are not talking enough about it. We are not bringing out enough holistic health, right, in front of
It-
people. And
It's it's so true. I think we could go on for hours and hours, and it's been a beautiful conversation. We can
yes, so you
we
are based in Manchester, you said?
Yes, I'm based in Manchester. Again, my you can see holistic pink ups. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not as active, but Instagram is normally where I live a lot. And so you can head over, and I've even got, like, I get my clients because of client confidentiality. Whenever they're pregnant, they give me a picture of a pregnancy test, and then they send me a testimonial. So then at least I can prove my results, because we've not touched on the fact that there's so many people out there that claim to help, but yet don't really help.
No, that as well. Yes, no, I agree in the proof, and because again, fertility is something where they don't necessarily want to be seen. They want to do this anonymously, and that is the whole another issue talking about that. But no, we are actually doing an event in Birmingham in October, 12th of October. I would love you to attend, maybe invite your patients. It is all going to be about holistic health.
Oh, I would have loved to, but I'm actually in October. I'm actually in Pakistan, so maybe next time. Next time. Oh, that's broken my heart. I would have loved to.
Free to share with others. I will send you information, but
Yes,
share
please
with
do.
others
Please
who
do.
are able to come. But we
Hmm.
have done two events before, and again, the idea with the events is also so that we can bring patients and practitioners in front of each other, and also for practitioners to share these experiences that we are getting these results and we are helping these many people, because it's a very lonely journey for practitioners themselves, because they're just
100%, because it's so hard because of the fact that, you know, I'm always very choosy on who I'm speaking with. If the person is aligned with my beliefs, aligned with the way I work, because me promoting somebody is also me giving a trust to somebody else that my clients will then take on board as well. And it's such an important thing as well. And it's so beautiful to have real people that genuinely want to help and have a passion to help. That is the most beautiful thing, because that's half of the battle, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Trust is important. It's important to know, as you said, aligned views about something. And that is where the trust then also heals. When you trust each other, when patients can trust you, that is the most healing part. When they know that you're not going to harm them. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
and I had one woman, and both husband and wife. They were very beautiful. Their English wasn't their first language. To me, she had gone into labor, and she wasn't, and they weren't giving her the care and attention. So I said to the husband, I said, can I speak to the doctor? And I really shouted at the doctor, and I said, this woman is going through contractions. She's now been in labor for 3 days. She is tired. You need to give her a C-section, or you need to review her case. So
yeah,
they reviewed her case, they gave her a C-section, and in the end, what we realized is they thought she was only 32 weeks pregnant, but whereas she was 6 weeks pregnant. And when I flagged that up, that's when she got the care she needed. And it's like that shouldn't have. I shouldn't have needed to do that.
yeah,
But like what I'm saying is that my clients become. I share their triumphs, their sorrows, their joys, and I'm with them, and I'm concerned about them throughout the whole journey. Only if they let me in will I help them, though. Like, I'm not very overpowering like that. If you want my help, you come to me, and inshallah I will try and help you as much as I can.
yeah, absolutely. It's about creating a community, of trust, and creating a community of like-minded people and practitioners, patients included in that, where people come through you and you help in certain ways, and then they become like a soul family, and they trust you for other things as well. And
Yes.
yeah, I have become like a family physician for so many. It started with one person, and the second, and the third, and the kids come, and the grandparents come. It's like that, and it's beautiful. That's how it should be. Once they trust you, then you can help with other things, because that's the beauty of holistic medicine, or holistic model, is that it can help other things as well. It's not just
Yeah,
for
because we're not just looking at wombs, we're looking at the whole person, the whole dynamics, and that's what's so beautiful. But yes, I could talk to you all day. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful, wonderful live. It's really lightened my heart, and I've really enjoyed myself, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
I love this interaction. It's always wonderful to talk, and so that others can listen as well and get some information. And if anybody has got want to connect with Shanila, please do connect with me. Please do. And you have more things to talk about health wise. Come through and inform yourself so that you're making an informed choice and whichever medicine you choose to use. So thank you, Shanila, and thank
Oh,
you for
thank
your
you very
time.
much.
We'll connect again soon. Yes.
Yes, definitely. I have a feeling that this is a first of many.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yes, we'll definitely connect and we'll definitely see you at some point. So,
Yes.
thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye bye.
Bye.